oh boy, do I have 3 boomer shooters for you. The first one is Turbo Overkill, and this is hands down one of the best games played this year so far. Highly recommended from my side. Then second, Incision. You could just replace it with Quake or Blood, and then Blood West, which is a survival stealth shooter. Starting off with Turbo Overkill by the developer Trigger Happy. And once again, all 3 games are still in early access. And this one is a boomer shooter with very fast first-person shooting with some low pixelated graphics in a cyberpunk scenario. The game has it basically all: fast responsive controls and a great protagonist with a chainsaw leg, which can also be used for sliding through the enemies and the levels. And of course a small but diverse upgrade system for skills and weapons, so a whole package to play around with. You are kind of a mercenary which has a job to take down an evil AI, which will, spoiler alert, become in the second chapter even stronger, which was a pretty cool highlight in the game. And if you see it, you will definitely recognize what I mean by that. Enemies are plenty to be gunned down, but nothing really new which you haven't seen before, but they do the trick and feel most of the time fair. But of course, if you stand still, you will be pretty much ending your game very fast, because these enemies are being countered by you being really mobile. So you have dashes, double jumps, wall jumps, or even a hook. A very mobile game, and of course you have a big arsenal of weapons with even alternative fire modes, which is a joy to play. You are always in fast combat and exploring your surrounding for secret areas or places you're not supposed to be, so out of bounds. I've been in some spots where the developers were not intending you to be, so that was kind of fun. Of course, sound and music are also on a high level, but if you are expecting this to be a graphical masterpiece, then this game won't win your heart. For me personally, this game was a pleasant surprise because of its polished gameplay, the level layout, the story and the music. So hands down, one of the best games played this year so far. So from my side, a high recommendation. Turbo Overkill is a very well done boomer shooter with high octane gameplay, which gave me in chapter 2 some Half-Life 2 vibes. So if you play it in chapter 2, you will definitely understand what I'm talking about. Coming to the second game, Incision, by the Polish developer Smoothbrain. So that name, nice one. And this is once again also in early access. This is a very gory, super pixelated first-person shooter that does what good old boomer shooters do. If you like simplistic games like Quake or Blood, you will feel right at home here. You are thrown in a horror apocalyptic world after some kind of entity invaded the earth, and you see a merging of living beings with unorganic matter, and well, your whole surroundings do reflect that. Throughout the game you can find some light story expositions which give the game some minimal context what's actually going on with the invasion, with the weird cults which are following after that, and what the player is actually doing there. The gameplay is very straightforward with countless of enemies and very standard weapon rosters which you have seen in countless other games. The same goes for the horror enemies, which are very vanilla in this regard as well. Nothing fancy, but it does play quite satisfying. Sound and music are on a high level and do carry the game as well. So if you are up for some creepy or rock music, then you will definitely find some good tunes here. Graphics could be a turn off for a few people, so this could be, a hard breaking point, because currently you cannot increase the gamma or just turn off the dither effect. So here, if this is a breaking point for you, then you will not find this game a good choice for you. Since all is a bit mushed graphically, it did happen to me quite a lot of times that I didn't see enemies which were close by, because the proximity or the level layout was that kind of dark that I didn't see anything in there. So here a little warning from my side. All in all, Incision is an enjoyable first-person shooter that doesn't innovate but sticks to what used to be a decent gold standard. I did enjoy the creepy levels, the gunplay, the monsters, and I actually played it to the very end of the early access, which was around, I don't know, 5-6 hours, something like this. So here this is a solid 7 out of 10 from my side. Blood West by Hyper Strange, also from Poland, is a Wild West survival stealth shooter where ammunition is super sparse and most enemies can almost one-shot you. Here you play kind of as an arisen coming from death to investigate the lands which have been overrun by monsters or by kind of a curse, something like this. And while the kind of interesting part about this game is its actual stealth system, and once, for example, you die, you get some curses and you got kind of an XP leveling system, so this is giving a little bit of flavor to the game as well. And of course, if you don't play tactical, the game will punish you really fast if you mess up, and that gave me Demon Souls vibes of difficulty, which is for me a love and hate relationship. So here that kept me actually playing the game for more, which is a good thing, I guess. Here you have to manage not being spotted, managing a really small inventory system, and always having no ammunition even later on. And one of the things, for example, if you think this game is not hard enough, if you don't hit the enemies with your guns in the head, well, you pretty much wasted your bullets, because then the effectiveness is really low, which does give the incentive that players which pay really, tactical are being rewarded more. So here you have to be definitely more patient and tactical. Of course, you can try the game with gun and run. That is really hard to pull off. Graphics and the enemy AI are on, well, let's call it on the lower spectrum. Overall, the gameplay wasn't that kind of satisfying for me to actually explore every corner and get some of that sweet loot. So here, this is an 8 out of 10, unexpectedly from my side. Hopefully you enjoyed these small little reviews. All 3 games are definitely a joy to play, and I'm hoping for more. Have a good one. One up indie.